Hi, my name is Chateau and I'm the current president of the Australian Fairytale Society. In 2021, I joined as a member of the Fairytale Society a project about something that I had no idea about, and it turned out that the origins of the word or the term fairytale came from some women, one woman in particular, Madame Dolmois, in 1697. And at that time, women were gathering in circles to tell stories and write fairy tales and write literary stories that meant something to them. And it also subverted things like religion and the king, and made fun of Madame Montespan, the king's mistress, and a whole range of other things of the time. And so I became obsessed with this author. So my character in the web series that we ended up developing was a woman called Charlotte Rose de la Force. And she is famous for what we know now as Rapunzel, and Kate Forsyth did her beautiful Bitter Greens about this woman. But Bitter Greens is a work of historical fiction, and it's a little bit biographical about Charlotte. My interest in Charlotte Rose de la Force is actually her fairy tales, 8 fairy tales. Rapunzel being one of them that we are familiar with today. But the 6 others are just as beautiful, and they're not for children. They're not fairy tales for children. There's one that could possibly be, and another one that's probably okay for children. But most of them are adult content related. And my desire, I've been accepted twice now to go to an artist residency in France. The first time I couldn't accept it because I didn't have enough money and I had to cancel. This time I'm hoping that people out there in the world will help me, and grants will be able, and the universe will be able to help me get to France, to the Chateau which is one of the highest profile artist residencies you can go to. And I'm so honoured to be selected. It's a very competitive process to get in. So I've got 12 months to get some money together to pay for the residency and the travel and insurance and all the other things, because she spent some time in Versailles and she spent time in Paris, and she also has a family chateau in the southwest. So I want to go to those places as well. I've been studying French. I'm very, very poor at it, and I'm up to over 1,000 days on Duolingo, which doesn't make me anywhere near fluent, but I've got a bit more of an ear for French now than I used to. And I have tried to hand translate the work that she's done. She wrote historical fiction novels, really early historical fiction. She was one of the women into an exclusive organisation that was accepted into the organisation. And she's just a fascinating woman who never married. Well, married once, but it was very complicated. You can read about it in Kate's book. But my project is writing about her and her fairy tales and making her name Charlotte Rose de la Force something that people go, oh, when they talk about fairy tales, not just the Grimms or Hans Christian Andersen. There were women involved in the development of fairy tale, the fairy tale genre. In fact, they were the beating heart of the development of the fairy tale genre. So it is my hope that I will be able to raise the funds that I need to pay for the residency, so I don't have to do teaching, and so I can go and spend 2 weeks completely just immersed in her work, her land, and the fairy tales that I've been working on over the last few years since the Salon project. If you can help me, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't, thanks for watching this far.